Hi everyone, welcome to Kentish Kicks by the BeeSeries. And I've popped down here in the morning, as I do every morning, to enjoy the bees. Just quickly in the garden. There's the garden now that was a bit of a wreck. I've got another bigger buddleia that I've moved on the garden. I think I've shown you the tree that I've planted, the autumnalis, winter flowering chose. Hopefully we'll get a couple of flowers out of that this year. We've got one of those hanging seats which I've moved there. The metal seat I've put here so I can sit here right next to the HydeHives beehive and enjoy them going in. Enjoy them going in and going out, and things are looking really good. This part here, I think I've shown you, I re-screeded, so the water now flows out. But what it was doing is, because there was no, that used to be a little wooden roll there, like a little fence, so there's a gap so the water could flow in. Well, obviously the soil had gone straight to the concrete, so there was no gap for the water to run into, so I've just chopped the soil back and just put some like gravel pumice stone in, and I've done similar at that end where that roll is. I've just dug out at the minute there's nothing in there, so I just removed the soil so it's just bare soil, and then at the end there is a bigger hole was deeper. So, and that seems to have sorted it great. No water now or anything remaining. It looks nice and neat, so hopefully it'll all come good. I've noticed as well where the flat area is here. There, look, and you can see where you can walk round there. That is where I want to be grass. Rough grass, not nice grass, just rough, so you've got something to walk on instead of walking on soil. So I'm going to keep that and let that grow. I've noticed bits of grass are growing in there naturally. Have a look. You can see all the natural stuff growing since I've turned it. So I'm going to keep this lightly, that where it's lightly where I've put the bulbs. I'm going to keep hoeing that and turning it lightly on the surface to keep it like that, so I can define and see the outer and see what happens. And hopefully what we'll see is see the greenery coming. So I'm going to see what grows there naturally first, and hopefully it's just a bit of rough grass. If not, I'll have to regrass it. So it's looking really nice. You know, we've got a nice little area down here now. But what my video was about this morning was the activity. It's 9.5 degrees today, this morning. I'm in their flight path. Let me get out of the way. So what I've noticed is, because it's got a little bit warmer, I say a little bit warmer, about 10 degrees, they're out and about. They're probably going about doing the business, getting rid of waste, and then getting a bit of pollen while they're out there. So there they are doing their thing. And what you can do, you can see them when they come out, look, they clean themselves, off they go. And when they come back, they land, have a little look about, they land, get the bearings, go in. And when they come out, you'll see them, look, see them, wipe themselves type of thing with the front legs. They do it every time, look, come out, prepare, give themselves a bit of a rub down on the fur, whatever they want to call it, the hair on the body. It's almost like they've been inside, they've done the job, so now they're wiping the face, getting the old napkin out, and off they go for another forage, and they come back. If these bees don't do that, these are the foragers. So there's nurse bees inside and other bees inside. But these bees, if the bees inside, or all the bees, don't at least get out at some point, they need to, you know, when in their flight, they empty themselves. And that's what they do. So this is why sometimes, even when it's cold, if it's really cold, the bees still have to get out and empty the bodily, do the bodily functions, and then come back. I thought I'd show you that, and I thought I'd show you the top of the HydeHives, what I've done here. I've got these insulation panels which you get from when you order food from these food companies like Gusto and places like that. I think it was Gusto, it might be somewhere else actually, the two places we used. This comes in a plastic bag and they put that inside, and their freezer bags in there as well, water frozen, and I've cut them and they fit just perfect on the top. And I've cut a circle, so if I do want to ventilate I can, but the bees don't seem to, they want to seem to block that up all the time, but it's really handy for feeding. So anyway, that's that. That's what it looks like. And I've got this, I've also got me where I picked this up from, I think a delivery of some sort again. It's like a wool and bits and bobs all sewn together. You've seen all this stuff before. I've put that over the top. So if I pull this back, what was that? Oh, it's a spider. Bit shocked I think to see me. So here's underneath, here's the second part of the hive. Nothing's been done in there. The hive's come up for a look because it's gone, the bees come for a look there because there's light. Because I've opened all this light, they've headed for the light. But you can see I've made a backer board, a blocker board there, because otherwise this would all be open to them and it's a lot to heat. So I've made that with a gap underneath so they at least can know there is space into here. So come spring, they'll think, hang on, we have got space. They could actually come in here and build their own comb if they wanted, but I'll put frames in here and take that off and keep expanding it back. I know, see the three there now, look, they're seeing the daylight and thinking, what's going off? Someone's breaking in, what's cracking off? These are the public guards, look. How interesting is that? Another one, look. They don't mess about, so let me put that back down. I don't want to bother them. Because they're thinking that their log, their home in that tree, someone's just broke in at the other end. They're investigating what's going off. And likewise in the top, here's all the bees. There's loads on the top. Look, the colony is really expanded now. I'm really happy. Look at them now. So how much they've expanded over how many frames? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would say 8 frames. That thing's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't want to hurt the thing, but I'll take that out in a minute. It's probably locking the warmth. And then I've got the happy paste on there, and that's just on top of a feeder. So if I try and lift that up, it's just squashed into the feeder, and what you'll see is all there. You can't see, I'm sorry, but you'll see their tongues. The tongues come through. See them come sticking through, and they're feeding. So let me just squash that through, and that's what. And that they will take that when it's cold. And if they want to feed, they'll take that right down into the cluster. And I just put this on, just to take. That is one weird spider. It like just wants to play dead, and it feels like it. What a weird thing. And I just do this just to take, because when I put this on over, if it leaves gaps, you can get condensation on side, but since I've done this, not getting anything, it's great. So I just cover up like that, just make sure it's not blocking the edges. There's a bee just investigating. Come on, little fella, you've got to get in flight. And then we'll just drop that back down, have a look, and then spend a few minutes with them. I've just refilled the feed tub with the extra, I'll probably say 750 gram. I cut off an edge about 200 gram just to see how they get on with it, because I couldn't. But what I've done since, I thought, what have I done there? I should have cut a section out of the happy paste or a circle section in the middle and just sat it over my feeder. Anyway, live and learn, or put a tub over it, something like that. So instead of wasting the actual remnants of the end of the bag that I cut off and they've had most of the food, I've thrown it on the floor there. Now I know a lot of you will say, oh, what have you done that for? It's just going to attract robbers and things like that. Well, it has done that actually, but only one so far, like a wasp. So instead of the wasp coming in and trying to get in and going frantic and going into this obviously meltdown to try and get in, and them having the stress of attacking it, it will just pop on the floor now and feed off that instead of annoying these, and they'll just go about the business. A few dead bees on the outside, but that's normal. If you're ever new into beekeeping, you don't worry about that, because they're just the older bees and they do die off. And these will actually carry them out. You actually see them carry another bee. So one bee carrying another bee. It's incredible to watch. I've seen them run on the bottom of the crown board or on top of the frames, dragging them out to the edge and then taking them down. And then they'll get them to this edge and shuffle it out, drag it out, or they'll just bring themselves out and slowly die. You'll find that they get like a little bit, some of them get like a really lethargic, probably a bit like this one here, look. I think that's not moving, it's not quite dead, but it's obviously it's probably just dying. It's on the end of its cycle. So that's like an example of what happens. So they either take themselves away from the colony, like most things. You know, you just want quiet, you just want to be on your own, don't you? So you sort of die and you go away and you just die wherever you are. That's a life cycle, and these do the same. But then any that die inside and don't get themselves out, these will drag them out and dump them. So every so often I'll sweep these, but it's interesting to see them build up a little bit, so you get an idea of what's going on. Instead of every day just kicking a bee out of the way, this way you get a better understanding of what's happening. You see that bee there? That was interesting. I don't know what the hell that's got on it. That's a bit of a worry. Don't like the looks of that. There's a bee that went in there and it looked like it was covered in white stuff, white powder. So that's obviously been foraging on something. But see that pollen on their legs, that light pollen there, look, going in. So they're still finding pollen at this time of year. I'm not quite sure what pollen they've found. I'm trying to think what plants, crops, or whatever. Look at that lot on that one. That's found. Yeah, these have found a bit of a good store at the minute, haven't they? A good location. That's why they're probably going crackers in and out. They're making the most of it while the temperature's gone up a little bit, because a couple of days ago it was really cold. That one's got a lot of pollen on its leg. Look, on its back leg. That's lighter pollen. I'm wondering if they've found a little mini crop or a few sunflowers, because sunflowers, are they still kind of flowering at this time of year? The ivy's done now, I think. I'll tell you what it might be. Hebes and heather. Went in some garden centre last week and they had quite a lot of heather. So I wonder if some heather's still going on. And then obviously some autumn flowering plants, maybe some asters. I don't think there's any crops in a couple of mile radius to me. Maybe there is, I don't know about. But yeah, so if you've got an interest in plants and things like that and bees, you can link with what they do with the seasons and what plants grow, because obviously they can only get and forage on what things are in flower. So if you have a bit of a knowledge there, you can soon work out, or try and work out, what pollen they're collecting. So some people, they actually go and target certain farms and they can call their honey a certain type of honey. This is why you get certain types of honey. You know, the honey that will get will be from plants in the 3-mile radius of where I am. So I could go on Google Maps and have a look at the farmland and stuff like that, and just hope that my neighbours come next spring and winter, no, summer, don't get the pesticides out and start spraying the plants and everything, and these then go and forage and get it and either bring it back to the colony and then start having problems killing themselves. There you go. See the wasp? The wasp is not bothering these at all, and it would be buzzing around here now, it'd be bugging me, it'd be trying to land on here, trying to get in, trying to scrap in that hole that I've reduced down. Then it'd be going under here, because this is a mesh bottom floor under here, so it'd be walking under that trying to get in and can't, and it just gets into this frenzy, and they get into a frenzy. Whereas it's just come in, it knows it's probably here, it's flying by, it can sniff it or whatever, and then it's just found this, and it's happy just to go about its business. And I would normally probably shoo that off or thumb it or shamedly put it under my toe, but I'm trying to stop doing things like that. It's just a reaction sometimes, isn't it, with them, because you think they're a pest, but that's got a little bit of right to life, hasn't it? That will have a hive, no doubt, that it don't produce honey, but it'll have a family and a colony that I'm sure that's probably foraging. I don't know from where that's come from. I'm not so sure on the cycle on them, but you know, it's doing about its business. Now it's doing it in a way that I don't mind. There it goes. People will probably say you need to kill it and stuff like that, but you know, that bee, see the bee had a little pop at it, and there it goes, look. It's over there somewhere, just here on the ground. But yeah, and this is where we get the phrases like hive of activity. You sometimes don't really realise these phrases that say, oh, hive of activity, that is. Well, you can see, you've seen with me here what activity going off. Hive of activity. You can see where my sign at the front has fell off, the sticky pads have come off. I did get these stencils and I wanted to burn them in, and there was a stencil of a bee and another stencil of a bee there, and there was one at the front, a tree of life. You can just make out, which it went a bit wrong, so because it went a bit wrong, I got my blowtorch and then gave this burnt look to it on the front, because it looked a real mess there. So I'm thinking of painting the front here or something, or I might get some laminate paper or something, you know, that laminate sticky back stuff, just to have a theme at the front. But anyway, or some paint. I'm into pinks, pastels maybe for the garden. I'm not sure yet, but I might go blue and then use the stencils with some yellow paint and try and get something going on them. But yeah, a bit of a shame that, so I've kind of ruined the front a little bit there. But anyway, it's tried it, didn't work. And there we go. I'll just finish this video with the bees. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series with the bees. I find them totally fascinating. I hope you do when I'm talking about them, what I've picked up, how they work. If I'm making mistakes, please, anyone with more knowledge, correct me. Pass on any more knowledge that you've got. Always willing to learn. We all pick up information in the first place. We're not born with the knowledge, so don't take it for granted. Thanks for watching. Check out my other series like the pond, the grow on. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. please hit that like button and subscribe as soon as you're done if you haven't already. If you have, please drop the like straight away. Please do it as soon as you finish. Thank you.